LeBron James and the Lakers back in form, evening up the series with the Suns. AD made good on his word, redeemed his game one performance, scoring 34 points, grabbing 10 rebounds. LeBron added 23 while dishing out 9 assists. So we have Big Perk back here with us. I think we will momentarily, but meanwhile, I'm going to start with you, sir. That would be you, Max Kellerman. Are LeBron and AD the best duo in the NBA?
Yes, until proven otherwise. They're the defending champions. LeBron James is, other than Michael Jordan, the greatest player who ever lived. And AD is an MVP caliber player in his prime. That's the best combination. And if you think it's not the best combination, look what happened last year in the playoffs. You know, you had a Denver team that won a great series against Utah that then upset the Clippers, and it looked like they're the cardiac kids. Even when they're down 10, they have you right where they want you, and they were coming back on the... No, Lakers took care of them in 5. In fact, the Lakers gentlemen swept the Western Conference before beating the Heat. No one took them 7. 4-1-4, 1-4, 1-4-2. LeBron James, the best player in the game until further notice, and AD are the best combination in the NBA.
On paper, I think that we have to look at them and their resume, yes.
Hi, Perk.
But I'm just telling you, based on what I'm seeing, maybe it's because of LeBron James and AD's questionable health. Even though they're back and they're playing and they're healthy enough to play, they're clearly not 100%. I'm thinking about KD and Harden. And I'm like, I can't summarily, and I've got to throw Kyrie in there, KD, Kyrie. I can't summarily dismiss them. I'm telling you right now, I will say this. I think that once this season is over, we may very well be calling somebody else the dynamic duo other than LeBron and AD, because I'm just a believer in Kevin Durant.
But what are you saying right now, though? Max is saying LeBron and Anthony Davis. Where are you?
I would tell you right now, if I had to pick who I would want, the dynamic duo, it would be KD with James Harden rather than LeBron.
But not Kyrie, not KD and Kyrie.
Because it's small, because Kyrie's small.
He said, where are you at, Perk?
Well, I just can't believe the stuff I'm hearing from Stephen A. right now, okay? And I agree with Matt. For the simple fact that when you look at LeBron and AD, right, and you look at KD and James or KD and Kyrie, I get it. They impact the game offensively, all right? Anthony Davis and LeBron James, not only do they impact the game offensively, but they impact the game in a tremendous way on the defensive side of things. And this is why they're the #1 defensive team in the league. Last night, they held the Phoenix Suns in the first, second, and third quarter under 25 points. Do you know how hard that is to do in today's game? And they would have done it in the fourth quarter if it wouldn't have been for those bonehead fouls by KCP and Dennis Schroeder fouling Devin Booker shooting the 3-point shot attempts. And I'm looking at it, and it's because of LeBron talking people through rotations. And then you talk about Anthony Davis, right? He could arguably win Defensive Player of the Year every single year, because there's no one in the league that does what he does on the defensive side of things. The way that he's able to switch 1 through 5, guard smaller guys, guard guys and protect the paint in the interior, the way that he's able to cover ground. So not only are they both giving you 25 plus a night on the offensive end, they're impacting the defensive area too, Stephen A. And that's why I have to give them the edge of being the best duo in the NBA.
I don't mind standing down when you bring up defense, because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to front. I wasn't even thinking about it. You're absolutely right in terms of overall. I was just speaking strictly offensively with what KD and James Harden brings to the table, and what I'd rather have now. It's that dynamic duo as opposed to LeBron and AD. But I can't say anything about that defensively other than this one point. You said that the Lakers were the top defense in the league. I got news for you. #1 in points forfeited in the league would be the New York Knicks. It's just important to remember that. I think it's important to remember that. The New York Knicks are the #1 defense. It's not the Los Angeles Lakers. It's not the Los Angeles Lakers.
You're right about,
it's the New York Knicks that's the #1 defense in points allowed in the NBA. KP, is that correct? Is that correct?
And look, points allowed and just overall is two different things, Stephen A. And look, they
saying.
the number one. The New York
Speaking of
Knicks are the
sports.
I got to
number
take
one.
it how I can get it.
The New York Knicks are the number one defense until they have to.
Okay, can we stop right there? Can we stop right there? Let's not rain on my parade. Let's not rain on my parade, KP. Let's not rain. Did I do that to you? Did I come to Texas raining on your parade? Let me have this, man.
If the
I said the New York Knicks don't get
ever
technical
get
with
really
me.
good-
They're number one in
But
points
you know
allowed.
what?
Insufferable on
But you
the
know what,
show.
Molly?
Okay.
I want to point out, New
Yeah.
York stand up, and when it came to saying who's the best duo other than AD and LeBron, Stephen A. correctly says KD and Harden. And by the end of this season, by the end of this postseason, Perk, I'm afraid he's going to be right.
Matt-
KD and Harden, by the end of this
Mac, I have
playoffs,
breaking
he'll be
news.
right.
I have breaking news. I'm in the process of reaching out to James Dolan and the New York Knicks. I might have to sit courtside tonight. I might have to sit courtside tonight. I might have to. I think they need me. I might have to be courtside.
He's going to
tonight.
step
I got to
over
see
the
what I
body
can
of
do.
Charles Oakley.
I could see what
to
I
sit
can do.
courtside.
I got to see what I can do about sitting with Spike Lee and the crew. You know, Al Pagone and those. I got to see what I can do about sitting courtside. I think they might need me tonight. Y'all might see us cited because I've never sat courtside for Nick game. I might have to come out of pocket and sit courtside
Here's
tonight.
a piece
I
of
think
advice.
it's important.
If you do
I
that-
think it's important. I think I need to be there like that. I just do.
If you
I'm
do
just
that,
feeling that right now.
Stephen A.,
What?
don't say anything to Trae Young. That's a piece of advice.
I know better than that. I know better than that. I would never do that. And not only that, I'm a professional. So I'm not going to sit up there. A level of decorum has to be exercised. But I think the Knicks need to come out of that tunnel and they need to see me right there. They need to see me.
Enough
New
about
York,
you
stand
and
up.
your Knicks.
New York, stand up. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.